hormonal milieu. And so my first patient enters in the OPD. She is a very young, beautiful girl, thin built, 5'8" height, and she's having acne. And just tell me, what will you think? And what will be your management, why she has come to you, what particular questions will you ask, and what is the rationale behind your questions? 1, 2, 3, that's all. And what investigation you will prefer, and how will you differentiate between the other, how will you rule out the other important same conditions? Neha, very dynamic, and Mukta, be prepared one by one, shoot so that we can have a lot of time.
Sure.
Now, what is the age you said?
I will really like to put Neha, Archana, you put the stage very well on for the discussion. She is 18 years. She actually where we really slipped. She had the period 2 months back, and she has an ultrasound report with the PCOS, and some endoscopic surgeon has already advised that this should be surgery or ye ovary mein cyst ho gayi hai. So these are the common thing with report and with anxiety and with the family members. The patient comes to you. So she is not married. She is not going to marry soon. So the last period is 2 months back, and she has come with this report. So what is
because unless she won't come to gynae unless and until she has missed her periods.
So one has to rule out pregnancy also.
Pregnancy first of all.
I think this is one thing that always rule out pregnancy. This is very, very important. Don't miss it. This is Dr. Lalita. It was a very wise thing. And let's do what next. She is not pregnant, and what you want to do for this adolescent girl, 18 years.
First of all, we must take a good history, and we must comfort the patient. She's already.
Ultrasound will not.
Actually, sorry, it is just 6 years post menarche, so ultrasound is not even required in such a patient. So we would like to ask her to.
She is not. She is 18 years. Menarche 12 years of age.
6 years.
Usually, what happens is somebody's already done an ultrasound and put in her mind that it is possibly a tumor. So one would, since if somebody after clinical examination, she's thin built as been told, so she is not obese. Are there any features suggestive of hirsutism? Is there any excessive hair growth? Is there any features suggestive of virilization like clitoromegaly or anything else? So all that also needs to be excluded. And if nothing is there, then we just have to comfort the patient that this could be just a part of growing up. And if she
I tell you, I'm very sorry to disturb, but you must remember all the lean PCOS, they have normal menstrual cycles generally, 70% of them.
So we would need to ask her to keep, we may have a high suspicion of PCOS. She's likely to be PCOS. Her cycles are getting delayed. So we may need to give her some kind of a hormonal treatment after an evaluation of everything, whether there is any other feature.
What investigation to Mukta? Can you elaborate?
Thyroid, prolactin.
Yeah.
Thyroid
prolactin.
Prolactin needs to be done. And ultrasound basically is not required. Any
endocrinal, what or more, and what else?
Test for glucose intolerance.
OGTT is recommended.
Yes, and one more.
Family history, any if at all useful.
If she's having any evidence of virilization, then in that case we can go for 17-hydroxyprogesterone as well. But I don't think you haven't suggested anything in this case like that, so it's not really required.
One thing, Neha and Lalit and Dr. Mukta has covered very well. One thing is very, very important, that we don't want to miss the diagnosis of PCOS also, because it has a lifelong implication. The primary prevention is start at the adolescent age. So it is a big responsibility on us. And as Neha said, we have to have a good clinical profile, good menstrual calendar, and thyroid and prolactin disorders are very, very common disorder which we find in our practice, and we have to have the follow-up scan. A second important thing with the adolescent is that it mixes with the physiology. Because in adolescent already hyperinsulinemia is common, acne is common, Yes. Weight gain is common. Normally weight gain, and the girl is going to hostel, preparing for competition, examination, some emotional trouble, and that cause also the delayed cycle, and already there is a physiological immature cycle. So one thing which we really want to communicate to the audience is that the diagnosis is important as well as difficult in adolescent, and we must have this
Will any of the yes,
that
madam, I want to ask a very smart panelists. They are anybody want to diagnose insulin resistance by doing serum insulin levels?
No, it's not. Archana, we will come to this. One thing about diagnosis, we will come to that thing.
Okay. Let's.
Criteria, which I really want to emphasize that Rotterdam criteria में adolescent there is always 2 out of 3 criteria. But for adolescent, all the 3 criteria should be met. This is very important because in like all the studies said, it is the 5 thing: oligo, clinical hyperandrogenesis, glycoemical hyperandrogenesis, insulin resistance, and polycystic ovary morphology. So in this 4 out of 5 criteria, and Rotterdam all the 3 criteria. So in adolescent, the bar of diagnosis is a little high, and we have to be very, very careful about it. So this is again that we have to fulfill all the 3 criteria. Now coming to Archana, which she was taking up this thing that the insulin resistance. She was, I think, pointing out to take the full glucose oral tolerance test to diagnose the insulin resistance. So we will say to Mukta and Anil, Lalita, that what you usually do for the demonstrating insulin resistance, what Archana was, Archana, you was putting the same thing. Na?
Yeah, same thing.
So what tests you do?
Yeah, because generally we are in habit of even advising so many tests कि कोई miss ना हो जाए. आजकल कोई हमारे पे पीछे से पिट ना कर दे.
Ma'am, we are doing oral glucose tolerance tests using 75 grams glucose and doing a fasting and 2 hours postprandial sugar level. And next, what we can do is fasting insulin levels. But that may be normal and it may be abnormal.
Exactly.
Not
I want to emphasize this
HOMA
only.
index also. Fasting insulin into fasting glucose divided by 22.5 more than 2. HOMA
But
index
still,
is also supposed to be.
I don't know. Just Dr. Sadhna will comment later on. In my opinion, I don't think serum insulin has any role to as such.
I also agree to
AMH is done, but
insulin actually does not give much
AMH is
idea about it.
Listen, dynamic girl of the box. I really like her.
Thank you, ma'am.
So in adolescent, we have to determine that who should be screened, how to
This is
like
very
rule
good.
out the disorders. So this is UPT, thyroid, prolactin, and I think all the panelists have covered all the things. And this is maybe the slide favorite slide of Archana, that oral glucose tolerance is the minimal metabolic screening method, and which is preferred even in normal. So this is the really request to keep everybody on the mute. And screening for dyslipidemia profile only when the guard is. Please mute, Amit, please mute everybody. Please mute everybody. And glucose tolerance test for all, lipidemia, lipid profile when there is a strong family history or when there is a history of obesity. Now coming to this thing, how you manage adolescent, which is the most important thing. And we will start from any panelist who has not participated or come forward, please do.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. How you go manage the adolescent? What is you want only lifestyle, only drug or combination, and what if drug, then what it is? Very, very simple question and very difficult also. Yes. Who want to take it? Mukta, you? Yes.
Ma'am, in this case of 17-year, you are talking of the 17-year-old girl who was presented with acne. I would like to find out the cause of her anovulation. As we have already discussed, we have to rule out other factors of anovulation by doing.
PCOS.
Okay, that's confirmed. It's confirmed now. She is PCOS. So once it is confirmed, we have to tell her lifestyle modification, which includes proper diet,
Yes.
healthy, nutritious diet, avoiding high caloric food, high sugar, high fat, and fast food should be avoided. She should take more of fruits, vegetables, and nuts. That is
Mukta, unmute yourself, please. You are on mute.
Is it okay now? Am I audible?
Yes, audible.
This girl should be advised lifestyle modification, which includes both dietary advice as well as proper exercise. Dietary advice means that she should take good diet, which means she should avoid fast food. High calories should be avoided. Food which is high in sugar, high in fat should be avoided.
मोनिशा पिएगी
And, she should take more of fruits, more of green vegetables, more of salads, nuts.
आगे
Besides,
तुम अंकुर एक काम करो, दरवाजा खोल के धर्मपाल बोला बर्तन ले जाएगा, जरा उनसे मिल कहेंगे तरबूज का जूस निकाला कि नहीं। उस दिन तो मैंने
she should exercise.
Unmute yourself, Mukta.
Dr. Mukta, please unmute yourself. Ma'am, we need to do lifestyle modification. She needs to do exercise. She needs to take care of a healthy, nutritious, balanced diet. As well as we have to also look into factors in adolescents, specifically of eating disorders and some kind of anxiety and eating disorders. There is a role of that also, which has been said. And first line options usually involve combined oral contraceptive pills. Otherwise, if required, and otherwise in places where we find insulin resistance, then we can also go for metformin. So this is what
like we will say
counsel the patient.
Coming to Mukta question, अभी जो lifestyle आपने बताई क्या adolescent follow कर पाते हैं?
That's why I was thinking.
Fast food, what you want them to
Ma'am, but that is
what they will do else.
we can allow them fast food, but in a limited amount. Like we can tell them to take once in 15 days or once in 10 days, but not on a regular basis. So that moderation should be followed in everything.
So it
you have to say that commitment and consistency.
Don't teach much, but you have to be adolescent friendly. उनको इतना मत करिए कि वो like वो उनको depression, because it really goes to the psychological and more eating. Neha has come up with very important eating disorder because of the depression. But you have to say that if you stick to it, it will automatically correct the hormonal imbalance, and you have to give the flexibility and the choices. So teaching doesn't work. And Neha said 2 or 3 things that COC a little hesitantly, but actually combined oral contraceptive is one of the very, very important pharmacological, because actually it corrects hyperandrogenemia. It increases SHBG, so there is a decrease in androgen. It regulates menstrual cycle, and progesterone component protect the endometrium from unopposed estrogen, and reduce excessive menstrual bleeding if she is having prolonged bleeding. So COC with the cyproterone acetate or the drosperinone, which have got the anti-androgenic effect, is actually the drug of choice in initial management of adolescent, because it corrects the hormonal imbalance as well. So don't be really afraid of the COC. And we have the good choice now, because they are low estrogenic and have the anti-androgenic activity. Anybody will say that we can have the COC नहीं लेंगे, हम progesterone withdrawal bleed लेंगे. लेकिन COC or progesterone withdrawal bleeding has got a difference. Progestin, if you give in the luteal phase last 7 days, it only goes for the cyclical bleeding, menstrual bleeding. It does not correct the hormonal imbalance. But if the patient is having some problem, or you have given 3 to 6 months, and you are waiting for the normal resumption for menstruation and patient doesn't have, then you can opt for the progesterone withdrawal bleeding. So we should be very clear that when to give COC, when to stop, when you want to evaluate, and progesterone for the withdrawal bleeding, because we don't want endometrial hyperplasia and exaggeration of the cycles, prolongation from 2 to 4 months. हमको ये बताना पड़ेगा कि अगर period नहीं आता, don't wait for 3 to 4 months, come early, and it is better to have the menstrual bleeding. So this is very, very important. Now Neha has already said about the insulin sensitizer in adolescent. So we have got many insulin sensitizer. I will say you have started for metformin. How many panelists will really want to have metformin for the adolescent or want to have something extra like inositol? So anybody is Neha is put for the metformin. Mukta, you want to say, or Dr. Lalita Yadav, for any, what is your choice for insulin sensitizer? When to do and what is your choice? Yes.
And I would like to use myo-inositol and D-chiro-inositol combination for this adolescent girl rather than using metformin, because metformin has a lot of side effects and she might not be able to tolerate it, and that might lead to she might abandon the drug, and then there would be no benefit.
So your choice is inositol. And Neha, you have any difference? Yes. You have any
Yes, ma'am. I would say metformin is a much cheaper drug. Myo-inositol preparations are extremely expensive, so long-term treatment needs to be given, and it is never sensible to put a patient on a drug which is so expensive. The cost of therapy is, and whenever the patient will stop, again the same story starts. Because so patient, what I understand is, patient needs to be highly motivated, counseled at a breath. Especially adolescent girl needs to understand that this is not going to end anytime very soon. So she has to definitely work on her lifestyle, and the earlier she adapts to a healthier exercise, and because the muscles, when they are used, then insulin sensitization is taking place. So isliye, even if a person is lean, still they need to exercise. Muscular activity stimulates the insulin receptors.
So thank you very much. Both of you are correct, and it is very, very important. They are costly, drug around 60 to 70 rupees, and that is for a adolescent like earning person. It is a real good cost, and we have to give for a long period. So that cost issue we have to keep in mind, and metformin works very well, and it also helps to resume the menstrual cyclicity. And one thing is that it really improves the ovulation or something, and you have to prescribe contraceptive.
Take care also. Very nice.
So this is not a like far हम लोगों को ये ध्यान रखना चाहिए. And MI and DCI work as the second level insulin messenger. हम लोग इसकी डिटेल में नहीं जाते, but it is good choice, but still we don't have the clear recommendation that how effective they are. So coming to case 2, Archana, you will like
one thing also, because that patient was having acne. So with anybody would like to give antibiotic or refer to a skin specialist or anything?
Topical.
अगर एक्ने का डॉक्सीसाइक्लिन for 14 days we give retino, and जितना कुछ कर सकते हैं, नहीं तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम है तो कॉस्मेट डर्मेटोलॉजिस्ट को.
हाँ, because acne के लिए आई थी, she was having acne. Is there any role of in giving this drospirenone pills especially for the acne?
They are more effective, ma'am.
Okay. So now the patient, अब जो adolescent थी, अब उसके बाद की कहानी शुरू होती है. अब nowadays she is married, and the young couple enters your clinic. They are in third decade of their life, like less than 40 years, means 30 years. Wife is having delayed cycles of 45 to 60 days with menstrual bleeding for 6 to 7 days. And there is a little weight gain, and within 1 year to 70 kg, and there is mild acne and hairs at the upper lip. And she has been prescribed off and on COC as usual, and clomiphene. And she has been told everywhere that she has PCOS. Every time she has a delayed cycle, she is under huge pressure by family members because they expect it's pregnancy. And now again, after she has come, she is overdue 15 days. And what is your line of action.
Ma'am, what all investigations have been done in her case? What all investigations you haven't told the investigations that have been done?
Nee, told gaya. Now you
What
work
you
up.
want to do? Yes.
Now you work up. Now
You
what?
have- this patient has
Well,
come
she is
with
you are diagnosing that she is infertility. Now how will you work up? You 1, 2, 3 and start.
Okay. Okay, we have to decide what she must have got some investigation. As
Just
we have discussed previously,
imaginary patient के साथ आप बताओ कि what actually you do so that your practice and others
Ma'am, we will need to
improve.
see her sorry ma'am, we will need to see her
Hello.
BMI. Her weight is mentioned but her height is not mentioned, so it would be better to have a BMI so that we can see it should be less than 25.
How many of us do BMI in OPD? And
Ma'am, we
right?
do. We have to.
Okay.
It's must. Our HOD is very particular.
Okay.
And then we have to see how long the infertility has been. It's not been mentioned the years of marriage and how long they have been dealing with infertility. How many clomiphene citrate cycles have been given? All that detailed history needs to be taken. And then we should
Suppose she is married for 2 years and she has taken clomiphene off and on for 6 months.
6 cycles of clomiphene citrate is quite a
yeah,
bit.
इससे पहले तो वो निकलेंगी नहीं घर से.
Okay, ma'am, male factor needs to be excluded, so semen analysis must be there. Fertility, we always have to work up from scratch. So male factor, whether tubal factor evaluation has been done or not, so we have to check on that. Endometrial biopsy to exclude tuberculosis, then HSG.
Archana Sharma, yeah, or any infertility specialist is not here. Yeah, Mukta, you also do. Where are other infertility वाले हमारे? नेहा तू ना बहुत बोलती है, तेरे को आता है सब कुछ, किसी और को बोलने दे भी.
No, everyone knows.
let us speak. She is the panelist today.
Okay, chal.
Dr. Ashma, she is one of the panelists.
I know.
नहीं, Dr.
I was
Mukta,
thinking, is there anyone else also in the panel?
Who does infertility? Please, you can take up the question.
If there is no one, then Neha carry on.
It is the basic infertility. पहली चीज ये कि पेशेंट हमारे पास इसी तरह से आते हैं कि उसके पास 4 डॉक्टरों के पर्चे होंगे, किसी ने क्लोमिफिन दिया, फिर एक अल्ट्रासाउंड हुआ, कुछ एब्डोमिनल थे, एक RTVS था. So you patient comes to us in the same way, and you have to really reorient your findings. And one thing is that you can like work up for the this month to see that what is happening to it. You want to have the review of the day 3 FSH क्योंकि वो एक दिन में नहीं होता. You want to do the tubal evaluation. So the patient comes to us with anybody who is doing. You want AMH in these patient, or you or you don't do FSHLS day 3. Only rely on AMH. तो ये एक big controversy रहती है कि आपको FSHLH कराना है या वो any day of the menstrual cycle, so AMH is convenient. I really want to have some opinion about it. Or you want to do both?
I think we should do both. I think we should do both because both have their own significance. A high AMH will confirm the diagnosis of polycystic ovarian syndrome. And if she is having low AMH, then we have to think in the other direction. Then we have to think of directly going for IVF rather than going for the slow, keeping the treatment at a slower pace because we don't have much time and she might not respond to our oral ovulation induction drugs. So a better
why not much time?
Because she already has a low antral follicle count. She has a low AMH, so that shows a poor ovarian reserve. And it might further decrease with her increasing age as she's aging. So we should not waste much time in a patient who has already a low AMH. She should be treated aggressively. Treatment should be more aggressive.
Neha, any comment from you?
It is better to refer those patients straight away to IVF centers rather than dealing them.
Also give the response and whether poor responder or a hyper responder, that will also give. If the AMH is high, then you have to be very cautious in the ovulation induction.
PCOS are hyper responder. We will say, we will conventionally say that the PCOS are hyper responder, and even when the follicles are not of good quality, we usually get the high MH. And FSH-LH ratio is important. That's why, because you want to tailor the ovulation induction. You want to start with only recombinant FSH, or you want to add when the HMG, menopausal FSH and LH. So the day to FSH-LH, many people say that we don't do FSH-LH. But actually FSH-LH ratio gives you a good idea that how, if there is very, very high LH, we can expect a poor quality of oocyte, as well as we have to omit the HMG, like the LH addition, and more rely on the recombinant FSH. So this gives you a high MH. Usually we get the high MH, and low MH in the later age when there is already the declining ovarian reserve. So when the patient, you have found that tubal factor are good, as male factor is not there, your preferable choice for the infertility management is ovulation induction, or you want to give time for weight reduction and insulin sensitization, or you want to do the straight away ovulation induction. So Neha, I think you want to take this question. Yes.
Ma'am, since the patient has already had 6 cycles of clomiphene citrate off and on though, and it makes sense that she starts with her lifestyle modification, and we also put her on metformin maybe along with as an adjunct to clomiphene citrate. 6 cycles though are usually the maximum that we normally do. Whether any IUI has been done earlier or not, we'll have to see. We usually, for infertility, they say letrozole is a preferred drug because it causes, so we would have gone for letrozole and then switched to clomiphene if letrozole was not working, and then added metformin along with clomiphene, and then would have gone further with the gonadotrophins and all. So this is the usual pattern in it.
You think that, yes, she has already taken the oral induction, so the switching to gonadotropin should be a little low threshold for it, and addition of adjuvant, especially the metformin, is a very good important addition. Lifestyle always to be continued. I will say again, for infertility, the lifestyle has to be continued. So one thing is a big debate about the clomiphene and the letrozole. So I will say to Dr. Lalita or Dr. Mukta that really your first choice is patient from Jagini there, because yes, what is the first choice of drugs in PCOS at the oral?
First choice is letrozole. Letrozole is given orally for 5 days, and if patient has indication, then we can give metformin or insulin sensitizer along with it. Lifestyle management is of course very important. Overweight and weight control advantages. Clomiphene citrate has been used. Tamoxifen has also been used, but drug of first choice is letrozole.
Mukta, you will really want to add that clomiphene up to what dose, or you want aromatase inhibitor?
The maximum dose that can be given is up to 150 milligram. Up to 150 milligram. Like we generally start with 50 milligram. The patient does not respond, we go up to 100 milligram in the next cycle, and after that we can go up to 150 milligram. But beyond that, the dose is generally not elevated. It's not increased anymore after 150 milligram. Then we have to think of some other drug if the patient is not responding. Because beyond that,
clomiphene is not out of the way. Clomiphene is a recommended first choice drug, and a good dosage and a good ovulation induction. And letrozole, of course, it has the thing of the monofollicular development and absence of anti-estrogenic effect. Now, when you use gonadotropin for PCOS, actually, what is your concern? आप कितने dose में और कैसे देना चाहते? In your practice, what you are doing for the gonadotropin? If you are adding gonadotropin, yes.
Ma'am, our main concern in PCOS patient is overstimulation. These patients, they are more likely to go into OHS, ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. So we should always start, it's better to start with low dose protocol, low dose step up protocol. We can like start with 75 units, give it for 5 to 7 days, monitor her with serum estradiol and ultrasound, fetal monitoring should be done, and then gradually increase the dose of gonadotropin according to the response. So that should be used.
So usually you are doing, so we can have the, first of all, when to introduce, we have already said 3, maximum 6 cycles of oral ovulation induction, and we have to start with the gonadotropin. Like Mukta has already said, it should be very, very low dose, like 50 to 75, and it really requires patient to get the monofollicular, because it can happen 10 days or 14 days after. And one very important message which we want to give to audience, कि PCOS can be very quiescent. Ovary बिल्कुल respond नहीं करी, 6, 7, 8, and suddenly one day you will find it is suddenly 14 millimeter, 14 follicle, and you don't know what to do with this if you don't have the backup of IVF in the same cycle or patient is ready. So you have to be, PCOS mein there is no way that you have to call the patient every second or third day for the follicle monitoring, because you don't know that where it is going. OHSS can be life threatening, and you can sometimes आप 150 150 IU से शुरू कर सकते हैं. When the follicle is 9 millimeter, you आप नीचे जा सकते हैं 150 to 75, 75 से 50. So you can have a chronic step up or chronic step down. This is the thing. Both choices are good. Sometimes क्या होता है कि low dose में follicle does not respond, and 150 we get good number of follicle, and then we can slowly get down. In normal cycle infertility, we want to have the monofollicular development. That is the basic difference. And in IVF, we want the polyfollicular development. So thank you very much, Mukta and Neha, for it. And when you think that this patient should be advised IVF, there is any cut-off point कि अब बहुत हो गया and you should go better for IVF, and how IVF is good or a not so good modality of infertility management.
आप तक आगे साल ऊपर ये भी करें सारी नीचे बैठना.
मैं बात करूंगी. लाइक डॉक्टर रेखा लोईवाल हमारे पैनल में है, बट यू शुड डायरेक्ट, हमारी भोली भाली सी वो है, प्लीज उनकी तरफ डायरेक्ट कर दीजिए क्वेश्चंस. यू आर नॉट डायरेक्टिंग एनी क्वेश्चन टू डॉक्टर रेखा लोईवाल.
Yes, yes, please. Yes, madam. So please.
डॉक्टर रेखा अनम्यूट करिए अपने आप को प्लीज. डॉक्टर रेखा अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ प्लीज.
डॉक्टर रेखा अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ.
Now you carry on.
Dr. Rekha Loiwal, we have not listened.
Unmute again, please.
Hello.
You are audible now.
Yes, you're audible now.
Hello.
Yes. Dr. Rekha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So when is this the time to decide for IVF, and how it is a good tool for infertility management, or it is not that good? We really want to have your
when there is high LH level, ma'am, and is not responding to this ovulatory drugs, we should go for the IVF. And there are more immature oocytes, then we should go for IVF and ICSI.
So how, मतलब it is effective to जब आप काउंसिल करते हैं तो हर पेशेंट पूछता है भाई मेरा क्या चांस है प्रेगनेंसी का. तो मतलब in PCOS how IVF holds a good promise, or it is just an average success or pregnancy rate, and if there is pregnancy, what is the problems associated with PCOS? So Dr. Nita, can you take it ahead? I think Mukta, you can take.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Rekha, yes.
Ma'am, should
Mukta,
I speak?
You can like start.
Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am, IVF is undoubtedly a very good promise for these patients when they are not responding to a routine treatment with gonadotropins. Then we should go for IVF. And prior to going for IVF, I would like to give her few cycles of IUI as well. If she's young, then she can go for more more than 3 cycles, and if she is like aged, in her case as she is 30 years already, I think we should restrict to 3 cycles of IUI and then move on to IVF. Ma'am, in IVF the problems you are asking,
yes.
Sometimes if we get many follicles in a cycle, induced cycle में follicles ज़्यादा होने हैं तो we may have to convert the IUI cycle to IVF cycle. We may have to be ready for that. Where there is a risk of
always we have to be ready with the IVF. So one thing is very important, that the timing is very important. कई लोगों को लगता है कि इन लोगों का रिजर्व लेट एज तक लेट रहता है, तो हम लोग उसको डिले कर सकते हैं. But the aging reserve, declining reserve is also true with the PCOS also. It is a good thing, like Mukta have said, IUI के कुछ cycles, 1 or 2 or 3 cycles are very good adjuvant, because you come to know about the male factor, what is the count after wash up, and if there is any cervical or something problem, so it gives you a good idea and you have tried the best thing, like ovulation induction along with the IUI, so that you know that it has succeeded or not. Now this is important, that PCOS ART is very good technique, because we get many follicles and the cumulative pregnancy rate is very high, because the extra follicles, extra embryo you can freeze and you can transfer for the next cycles. So is for PCOS, you can really advise that this is very good treatment, because you can have you can have the cumulative pregnancy, even you have freezing embryo, you can plan for the next pregnancy also. And always adjuvant to freezing all embryo can be the thing to reduce the OHSS and the multiple pregnancy rate. So one thing we should be very promising. And anybody, Dr. Rekha, you want to take anybody who is doing IVF, that any difference between you like to have the agonist protocol or the antagonist protocol for IVF PCOS? Dr. Rekha, can you want to take this question, or anybody else want to take?
No, ma'am, I don't.
So I will say that antagonists have certain advantage, lower risk of OHS. सबसे जरूरी चीज ये है, and we can use not SCG as a trigger, but GnRH agonist trigger, then freeze all embryo and transfer in the next cycle. तो ये OHSS और multiple pregnancy rate को बहुत ज़्यादा कम कर देता है. And these are the life-threatening complications. So this is important. I think we have covered insulin sensitizer, myonisitol and metformin, and we use in a different way. Whenever there is failure of ovulation induction, we can add on with the myonisitol, inositol or metformin or something. Any idea about adding vitamin D3 and acetylcysteine and the steroid in the treatment of infertility? So I think Mukta wants to say. Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. But vitamin D is very helpful, and we should add it almost in all patients, I would suggest, because most of them are vitamin D deficient. It has been seen that vitamin D deficiency is very common in PCOS patients. So if we add vitamin D, it really helps in conception. And then regarding this steroids, these can, dexamethasone or prednisolone can also be used as adjuvant in some patients when they are not responding to like clomipene or letrozole. Then in those patients we can add steroids as well in the dose of 0.5 milligram daily for about 7 to 14 days. We can give these, and prednisolone is given in the dose of 5 milligram daily. So they are also helpful adjuvants that can be used.
So this is very important, but sometimes we can measure also in infertile patient what is vitamin D level, and we actually should target to maintain vitamin D level more than 20 nanogram. And in some patient, dexamethasone or prednisolone in follicular phase can help, especially who are having hyperandrogenism. And OCP treatment, this is also very important. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि इस cycle में आपने से day 2 पे scan किया और उसमें cystic ovary आ रहा है, so then you stop 1 or 2 cycle of OCP, actually again restores the hormonal level, and in the third cycle you get the better quality of follicle. So OCP pre-treatment is very important. And as far as the statin and the usually the gynecologist not advise and it is not recommended for infertility management. क्योंकि कई बार पेशेंट का लिपिड प्रोफाइल ज्यादा होता है and patient is already taking statin, so they are not safe also if the patient conceive and they can be therapeutic. NSC has got some antioxidant action and can have some result, but studies are showing non-inconsistent result. One important thing is the ovarian drilling for PCOS. ये हम लोग बहुत बार बताते हैं. Anybody who is doing endoscopy can like add what is the role of ovarian drilling in these PCOS infertile.
Ma'am, it was popular earlier, but nowadays it is considered that it may do more harm than any benefit because you decrease the ovarian reserve gradually if you overdo it.
Any difference of opinion? Neha is not at all for it because it can
Not
cause
now.
weight.
Earlier it was very prevalent for 40 watts, 4 drills for 40 seconds and things like that.
Yeah.
But
Anybody who is still who is doing and found it is good. Any difference of opinion? Mukta,
It is, ma'am,
also don't-
ma'am, we cannot straight away say that it is of no use. It is still of some use for patients who do not want gonadotropin stimulation, who are coming from remote areas, who cannot afford the expensive treatment, the cost of gonadotropins, and who cannot come to the consultant so frequently. So in those patients, this treatment can be considered, and we must tell the patient the drawbacks of the treatment in the form of pelvic adhesions, decreased ovarian reserve. They are of course there, but we can't say that it is totally out of vogue. It still has some place.
So thank you. We really like difference of opinion. Rightly, you say that it is a one-time treatment and it really achieves in the monofollicular development or reduced dose of gonadotropin. What Neha says, it is good 4 second 40 watt 4 point, not more than point. When there was a incidence result, actually हम लोग 9-10 बार कर रहे थे and we were not very careful about the voltage. And add with the saline irrigation of ovary after this thing so that there is cooling of ovary and prevention of adhesion. And young women, I will really want this young women, lean PCOS with high LH are good choice for the laparoscopic ovarian drilling. So like we say, the IVF technology is still not approachable for so many people, and in some patient it really works very well. Now coming to the last situation, this patient has now 2 children and now she is 42-year-old and had she's a one child, yes, 1 IVF, 1 ovulation induction. Now she is having prolonged bleeding. She has come, उसने सब पर्चे वर्चे छोड़ दिए. She is not with any prescription. लेकिन she comes to you with the heavy prolonged bleeding. Now she is 85 kg, taking antihypertensive, progressed in life much well. So what is your concern for these patients? 85 kg, BP 150/94, prolonged and heavy bleeding. She is fed up. So Dr. Lalita wants to say she has
Yes.
This patient is overweight. Rekha, you want to say, Rekha?
Yeah.
please.
Yes.
Bolo. Say.
This
Yes,
case
Dr.
should be
Rekha,
investigated.
please. Yes.
This should case be investigated, keeping in mind that she is developing sequels of her polycystic ovarian syndrome. So unopposed exposure.
भैया पता नहीं सो रहा है क्या कर रहा है.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Dr. Rekha, please continue. Dr. Rekha,
Unopposed,
please continue. Yes.
unopposed exposure of estrogen causing risk of endometrial hyperplasia. So she should be she should go for DNC, diagnostic testing for hyperplasia or any development of malignancy.
Thank you very much. Actually, one thing is that the PCOS and the metabolic syndrome, उनका बिल्कुल हाथ में हाथ है. 33% of PCOS. I will request to mute everybody.
We can't hear you, Dr. Rekha. We can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Sadhna ma'am, we can't hear you. Please unmute.
Unmute yourself, ma'am. Ma'am.
Hello.
Hello.
Actually,
Yes, yes.
everybody has.
Yes, audible. Dr. Rekha, please go ahead. Yes. So one thing is that what is metabolic syndrome? It is a combination of central obesity, hypertension, insulin resistance, and atherogenic dyslipidemia. So this is very important क्योंकि हम सुनते रहते हैं metabolic syndrome पर actually क्या ये हम नहीं जानते. और South Asia में with very very high incidence of diabetes and hypertension and metabolic disorder, we should be very very, as a gynecologist we have this added responsibility to be the physician to cover these patients because patient actually comes to us only. And Dr. Rekha has rightly said that endometrial biopsy is very very important. अगर उसका endometrial thickness 10 millimeter से ज़्यादा, it is must before starting any hormonal treatment we do the endometrial biopsy. I will like to say to any panelist that अगर हमको metabolic screening करनी है तो what minimum thing we can do in our clinic as well. Metabolic syndrome के लिए screening, can we do it or we should refer to physician?
No, we should do.
Blood pressure should be checked.
We should do it.
To hip ratio, OGTT, fasting
Lipid profile.
Needs to be done.
So we can do it, I think.
And endometrial biopsy, if endometrial
you go for the, अभी अर्चना ने कहा BMI कौन करता है clinic में, so that was also a very very pertinent question. आप उसका कोई alternative
आते हैं गोले वाले जो LMP के साथ होते हैं BMI वाले.
So you are doing it. It's a good thing you are doing it. And Mukta, you are doing it because she was very. One thing alternative that we can do the baseline waist circumference, because if it is more than 85 or more than 88, it's central adiposity. Actually, since central obesity is more dangerous, it is not the gynecoid obesity. So we should be careful. Waist circumference, triglyceride level, elevated blood pressure को नापना हमारे लिए जरूरी है, and the glucose tolerance test. This is the thing which we can do, and we have to. This is all the same slide. And endometrial biopsy is very very important. ये बहुत common चीज है कि patient is taking progesterone and she comes with the endometrial malignancy and she says that. So the pre biopsy is very very important. Agar if the patient, I will again say to the panelists, if it is a simple endometrial hyperplasia, then how you like give the treatment for these patients. PCOS, a little metabolic disorder, and the patient, the histopathology report is simple hyperplasia. So you go for the surgery or you go for the alternative treatment.
Ma'am, I would like to advise a Mirena. Okay, if it is simple hyperplasia, that works very well.
So your choice is Mirena, and anybody for the oral progesterone, cyclical progesterone.
I'm using it.
So
madam,
low dose
for Mirena, then we can go for Mepred, long oral progestrogens.
Low dose combination pills.
So even norepinephrine is also good.
Progesterone can be given.
Is also
day 5 to 25.
Yes. So the simple hyperplasia, usko complex hyperplasia या atypical hyperplasia में convert now. We have to put on the long-term progesterone, and we have to follow with the regular ultrasound as well as whenever you think कि उसका endometrial thickness नहीं जा रहा है या symptomology है, you have to repeat the biopsy as well. So this is very very important because endometrial carcinoma is very very important preventable malignancies in the PCOS. So we finished with this thing. I think we have finished in the time. So counseling for healthy lifestyles, need of multidisciplinary screening and consultation to be emphasized. Many times, especially in our country, gynecologist is the only doctor in women's or even family's life. So life circle is going to be completed. Our role continues. Thank you very much for wonderful discussion and for the opportunity. And we will ask the moderator to take up the question if there are any question in the chat box. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Neha, Mukta, Dr. Lalita, and Dr. Rekha.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sadhana.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
you.
And अर्चना तुम बहुत बेसिक सवाल उठाती हो.
हाँ, अर्चना जी आप आ गए. क्वेश्चन प्लीज चैट बॉक्स से.
हेलो,
क्वेश्चन ले लीजिए प्लीज चैट बॉक्स से.
If anybody want to take the
तुम कर लो.
question, he can speak here.
या जिसको है अपना वो बोल लेना. अल्पना, यू मॉडरेट करो ना उसको, क्वेश्चंस को जो भी.
मैम एक चीज मुझे ये पूछना है, एंडोमेट्रियल हाइपरप्लेजिया, उसके अंदर यूज टेक साइक्लिकल प्रोजेस्टेरोन. Is it not better to give continuous progesterone for 6 months?
Without break. Actually, Neha, you want to answer this question?
Ma'am, since the patient's age,
continuous progesterone.
ma'am, in our case, actually the patient's age is 40 years. So I said I would want to give a breakthrough also. Had the age been on an older side, then I would have given it continuous only. Actually, continuous can be better.
Then you would have preferred a continuous progesterone.
Specifically because
low dose
problem is
combination
breakthrough
pills.
bleeding with a continuous one. That can be bothersome. So it's.
And ma'am, Dr. Rekha, she wants to say, what is the role of low dose contraceptive pills at 40 years of age? What is your opinion about it?
Low dose contraceptive pills we can give. We have to see that what is the combination. If the patient is having metabolic syndrome, then the only choice remains with us is the low dose ethinyl estradiol and the drospirenone, or the which is anti-mineralocorticoid activities. But if the patient is having any symptom or sign or history of the thrombosis or the high risk or the deep vein thrombosis, then the COC should be given very, very carefully. For regulation of cycle, you can give for 1 or 2 months, but it is not advisable for the prolonged period. If we want to give the thing for the endometrial hyperplasia, then progesterone is the only choice, and LNG IUS is that the same way. It is the continuous.
And we should avoid as many estrogen as possible. ऑलरेडी अनअपोज्ड एस्ट्रोजन बहुत है और एडिपोसिटी है, तो ऑलरेडी और भी उसका अंदर ही अंदर से भी एंड्रोजन से भी उसका जो एस्ट्रेडियोल का कन्वर्जन हुआ जा रहा है वो भी और एक्स्ट्रा हो रहा है. सो वी शुड अवॉइड एस्ट्रोजन एज फार एज पॉसिबल.
Since we have LNG IUCT, that would be our first choice. OC is limited for a cycle or 2.
Yeah, Mukta told.
I have taken few questions from the chat box, ma'am. What is the role of metformin in obese PCOD? In normal, with normal GTT, and what is the rationale for giving metformin?
I can read तरबूज का जूस. ये किसने लिखा? For what?
अपनी सरिता त्यागी, डॉक्टर सरिता त्यागी.
If the patient is having high BMI, then it itself actually shows the insulin resistance. So irrespective, if there is impaired glucose tolerance, then we have to manage that way, because patient is already having impaired. But even if she is having normal glucose tolerance, but she is obese and she is not responding to our 1 or 2 or 3 cycle of ovulation induction agent, then adjuvant of metformin is one of the very, very important addition, because it actually lowers the insulin resistance. When there is increased insulin sensitivity, there is all the pathogenesis of PCOS revert, and it adds to the high ovulation rate as well as with the increased pregnancy rate. So metformin is a very good adjuvant, especially in the obese patient. Even in sometimes lean patient, we give the metformin or the minoxidil as an insulin sensitizer to improve the hormonal profile and to improve the quality of the oocyte. So that has got a real role in the management.
It is lifeline. It is our lifeline in PCOS. We can say it like that. Okay, ma'am. There is one more question. Many of the girls, they are staying in hostel, and how can they follow their diet schedule and exercise while being in their hostels?
Best is, ma'am, that we ask them to join some kind of a sports activity, whether they play badminton with their friends or if they can indulge into brisk walk. And these days most hostels have gyms, so, and all the teenagers are very conscious. In fact, everyone wants to wear very nice dresses and etc. So that can be a motivating factor. Moreover, we can always ask them to take some salads and fruits, or if we are doing it at home, then our children are most likely to imbibe it. If we ourselves are eating pizzas, then we can't expect our children to start eating salads just because I may be thin or slim and my daughter may be not so slim, then I cannot expect that मैं पतली हूँ इसलिए मैं खा रही हूँ, तुम पतले नहीं हो इसलिए तुम मत खाओ. So something like
you
that.
should buy beautiful short dresses for them so that they are motivated to reduce their weight. That is the whole story. Okay.
No, even we cannot for the patient. We
इस चीज को लेके मतलब it is a very sensitive point because today the young generation is actually too much body conscious, but too much body conscious is not actually allowing them to make the healthy lifestyle. They are more depressed, more psycho-obsessed. So I will say that inculcation of a good diet and the exercise right from childhood. आपको अचानक से सोचे कि आप 20 साल पे exercise, because ये नहीं hostel or teaching. They are so much on mobile. They are so much on the everything. So if they are really know that this is the part of life, then they will join sports or they will join dance class or they will join gym. So it is a way, and like Neha said very, very correctly, whatever adults do, they follow the things. The adult has got the good lifestyle, having variety of food, then they will follow up. So कभी-कभी अगर हम बहुत ड्रेस वगैरह की बात करें ना, they are so much obsessed कि वो ईटिंग डिसऑर्डर में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है और कभी वो परमानेंट नहीं होता. So if you want to be healthy, then you have to invest in the health. That is the thing. It is not the dress or it is not the immediate something relationship or something that actually. So as the adult, we should not be very light. What we say, हम लोग खुद trash हो रहे हैं. If we are saying that you want to see that dress, then that doesn't. We are like downgrading ourselves. So as a doctor, we should be very factual and we should allow them to inculcate this thing in the life.
And we मतलब like yeah, we must tell them कि अगर weight कम भी नहीं हो रहा है, keep on doing, make good efforts. उनको ना कुछ ज़्यादा कुछ करना नहीं.
They should never be depressed by their weight. मतलब mentally भी उनको sound.
मैंने ये हमेशा देखा, this shaming always there कि मतलब like किसी का कोई मोटा है, कोई तो सबसे पहले जो पीयर प्रेशर है ना, वो सबसे पहले आना शुरू हो जाता है. तू पतली कैसे हो गई, मोटी क्यों हो पड़ी है, तूने ऐसे तेरी शॉर्ट ड्रेसेस यार बड़ी जम रही हैं तेरे पर, मगर थोड़े से हिप्स कम कर ले. मैंने मतलब जो ये डायरेक्ट कमेंट्स आते हैं, ये दिस इज कॉल्ड पीयर प्रेशर, और ये ऑलरेडी उसके मन में भरा रहता है. द मोमेंट दे एंटर द हाउस, उनकी मदर भी उनके ऊपर चढ़ जाती है क्योंकि उनके पास भी टाइम नहीं है, बच्चों के पास भी टाइम नहीं है.
अच्छा, बहुत तुमने सही बात की, क्योंकि आई फील मतलब दिस इज द वन थिंग एज ए डॉक्टर वी हैव टू गिव पॉजिटिव मैसेज अबाउट एवरीथिंग अबाउट इट. अगर आपका इवन इफ योर वेट इज मोर दैट इट इज नॉट अ क्राइम और सिन, जस्ट यू हैव टू ऑल्टर अ लिटिल.
बहुत स्लो लगा ना, बस मैं आ रही हूं अभी.
Last question. Dr. Neelu Khaneja का question है, in an unmarried girl, how long the treatment to be given, as even after 8 to 9 months the symptoms persist? I think ma'am, Neelu ma'am, you are talking about metformin.
Any treatment, whether it's Enostol or hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Ma'am, you are on mute now. You have to unmute yourself. Neelu ma'am, you are on mute, please. Unmute.
Yes,
yeah.
hello. Ma'am, we have seen these young girls, but some of them are obese, some of them are thin, but we have given the treatment, maybe Minostol, maybe metformin for 8 months, 9 months, and the symptoms keep on getting, you know.
बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट सवाल है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल COC, पहले तो हम कंबाइंड ओरल कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव को लें कि पेशेंट को 2-3 मंथ देते हैं, आफ्टर दैट समटाइम दे आर वरीड कि हम ये कब तक लेंगे और समथिंग. सो आफ्टर 3 to 6 months, our slide was also showing that after 3 to 6 months you re-evaluate. Lifetime lifestyle modification always to be continued, and we have to see that her symptoms are. So many times patient is having good lifestyle and her menstrual cyclicity resumes.
Light नहीं आ रही है.
For the long term, metformin is also only for 3 to 6 months because it has got simple cardiac. We have to have a watch.
Ma'am, in what dosage are you recommending?
Myoinositol and inositol we can really give for a long time, but it is costly, as Neha has said. So myoinositol, inositol are only food combination, and if we continue for 3 to 6 months, it also helps. But one thing we have to explain to the people, if we have confirmed PCOS, that it requires lifelong management, and the lifestyle good diet and exercise is a one thing which to be continued till later phase of life, and drugs there when and there. When you find that it is 2 or 3 cycle delayed, 60, 90, 120-day cycle, we have to go for the COC. If it is only 40 days and the prolonged bleeding, then the progesterone withdrawal bleeding, which is must be. We don't allow them to be amenorrheic for 3 to 4 months. And insulin sensitizer, if it is not a cost issue, we can give for 3 to 6 months. But we have to see every time that what the patient is having spontaneous resumption of cycle or a little less disturbance of cycle.
And ma'am, metformin in what dosage are you recommending for long term?
Actually, metformin, when it should be started, it is always from the low dosage. Like once a day, if she tolerates well, then 1 BD, then maximum 1500 milligram. That is TDS dose. We have to counsel that for non-fasting.
And I've also seen my withdrawal bleeding has to be done. Withdrawal bleeding is required even after 1 year, 2 years, the periods don't get regular by progesterone. Is that okay?
Yes. If the girl doesn't want COC, or you think that you don't want to give, then the withdrawal bleeding is always, it is always needed for the thing. And it is not going to correct PCOS. It's just have the bleeding and the next cycle start. Yes.
Prevents endometrial hyperplasia also.
Yes.
So,
okay, thank you, ma'am.
We come to the end of the session. We come to end of the session. I can't say all the other questions you can take at the time of tea now. No more tea with each and every one of us. Anyways, ma'am, Dr. Sadhana ma'am, such a humble and a sweet person.
Yeah.
It was very nice to have you with us. And Archana Mama ma'am, Amy ma'am, it was so nice of you to be a moderator with us. आपको देखने को हमें बहुत कम मिलता है, दो आप गॉक्स में हो.
ये पता नहीं क्या कहानी है, मेरे को आज तक समझ में नहीं आई, कोई तो बताओ. को देखना, I am the only one. Everybody says कि I am every time I am seen, even all the WhatsApp and everywhere, even Bob, I am the most visible person.
You are the most visible person everywhere, but हमारे गॉक्स में आपकी कमी हमेशा महसूस करते हैं, because most of the sessions you are busy somewhere.
जहाँ तुम हो वहाँ मैं हूँ अपने दिल में, देखो ज्यादा ड्रामेबाजी करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है.
Now, thank you all the panelists.
एक और metformin was, you were talking about metformin, but एक थोड़ा सा उसके साथ, like when the patient is 40 years, just एक थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखना होता है, या और 30 years, एक तो breast feeding के साथ नहीं देना होता है, and secondly कि if the patient is having some kind of diabetes, diabetes mellitus type 2 and maybe having acidosis symptoms, then straight away you have to stop the medicine, metformin first. That is the only thing.
Thank you, Amy ma'am. Thank you. And thank you for the extreme panelists.
Sadhana and Alpana. I'm really thankful to both of you. Sadhana is my heart to heart, sisterly.
दिल से दिल मिलते हैं हमारे. अच्छा. Thank you, Dr. Lalita. Everyone, please wait for the announcement of the answers of the quiz. Dr. Monica will announce within a minute.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Should I start?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. After the mind-drilling academical session by Dr. Sadhana Gupta and Dr. Archana Verma, now I'm going to unwind the most awaited part of this session. So friends, the capacity to learn is gift and the ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn and grow is choice. And we feel proud as a team that we are successful in craving a niche in these tough times by our online quiz and academical session. Now I'm going to open the keys for the quiz on PCOS and Enigma. The first question, the diagnostic criteria for PCOS by Androgen Access PCOS Society 2009 doesn't include obesity. Question 2, the incidence of insulin resistance is seen in 50 to 70% of PCO women. Question number 3, which of these is not long-term risk of untreated PCOS is ovarian cancer? Question number 4, the etiological basis of PCOS is genetical or familial factor and environmental factor and both of the above. Question number 5, Perriman-Galvez score is assessing for the severity of hirsutism. USG criteria for diagnosis of PCOS is 12 follicle in each or both ovaries. Which of the statement is not true? Metformin should be given in all the cases of PCOD. Alternate number 2. Question number 8. For the first time, agent for ovulation induction in PCOS as per guideline of 2018 is letrozole. Question number 9. Which of these is not common complaint with use of COCs for the treatment of PCOD is hirsutism. Question number 10. Which of these is not sorry. Question number 10. हमारी अधूरी कहानी. Alternate number Dharamji and Hemaji. And question number 11. Find a odd one out. Arnav is a Arnav with DNA news is the wrong answer. So friends, now I would be as the Gaussian, the new. Never lose. We always learn with the same spirit by maintaining the perfect balance of academical and curricular activities despite of challenges posed by global pandemic. With this note, I am extremely gratified to declare the result PCOS and Enigma. The winner is Dr. Kusum Gupta, Dr. Nalini Jain, Dr. Nupur Jain, Dr. Sangeeta Gupta, and Dr. Ritu Tiwari. And the winner who have been qualifying for bumper prize, Dr. Seema Chawla, Dr. Kumud Srivastav, Dr. Paridhi Garg, Dr. Nupur Sharma, and Dr. Shweta Singh. Till now, the bumper prize winner participants are Dr. Paridhi, Dr. Manisha Agarwal, Dr. Poonam Gupta, Dr. Vandana Dayal, Dr. Seema Chawla, Dr. Kumud Srivastav, Dr. Nupur Sharma, and Dr. Shweta Singh. Now, I would like to congratulate all the winner and best compliment for every participant. We look forward for your ceaseless participation in future too. Friends, stay safe, stay connected, and keep learning. Thank you, everyone. Over to Anjana ma'am for thanks note.
Dr. Alpna has already said thanks.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. Alpna, unmute yourself.
बीच में ही म्यूट कर दिया बोलते बोलते टोरेंट वालों ने. भैया मुझसे क्या दुश्मनी है टोरेंट पीपल? You did let me say thanks to you as well. भाई नहीं चाहिए thanks मत लो. Ma'am, it was a very nice session. Sadhana ma'am?
We really enjoyed, ma'am.
Yeah. PCOS in a very beautiful way, very simple way. So I think everyone enjoyed this.
Interaction was too good with the panelists. Interaction was very good.
I think all audience have enjoyed the session, and we will always be together for anything, any sort of activity. And I hope you are organizing UP Corner. God willing, you can do it in the December. So all the best, and again thank you everybody. Seema was very good presentation on progesterone, and it was really good that you are encouraging your youngsters to present with the mentor. So this is also very good tradition.
Ma'am, that is important. Yeah, they should come forward. The juniors should come forward.
So that's the good thing, and we all the best, so that it's the time to say goodbye.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Enjoyed.
अमित आप कुछ फोटोग्राफ और रिकॉर्डिंग भेजिएगा.
जी मैम, yes मैम, बिल्कुल, absolutely मैम. It is recorded is there. Yes ma'am, thank you so much on behalf of Torrent also.
शुरू का पार्ट रह गया था because they couldn't do it, but later on मतलब after 5 to 10 minutes or so, उसके बाद रिकॉर्ड किया.
Okay,
so bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
अमित आपसे बात हो जाए जरा.
Yes ma'am, yes.
आपको जरा अपनी शक्ल दिखा दें.
Thank you.
Yes ma'am. Just a minute. Hello.
Thank you.
Ma'am, yes ma'am, ma'am, recording off कर दूं पहले.
हाँ.
Recording, shall I stop the recording?
हाँ, you stop.